Hello again guys, I'm doing another product review, and this time it's for the SPD knee wraps. I only have the stiff version, so I posted earlier on Instagram that I actually bought 6 pairs in Luxembourg, also with the stiff wrist wraps and the light wrist wraps. So here is one of the pairs. It's still sealed. You can see here on the bag it has IPF approved, which is very important, and also here the 2 meters. And first off, I want to state that I believe SPD is a platinum partner for the IPF, so they'll continually be paying the fee. So it's really important for IPF powerlifters to have, or to make sure that manufacturers continue to pay the fee. And SPD, it gives me a lot of confidence that they'll, keep continuing paying the fee because of their status in the IPF. But again, it's something that we should all look out for, especially a few years ago when we had a dispute over the manufacturer fees between the 3 main manufacturers, and I actually had to actively seek out new wraps because the wraps I was using were no longer going to be allowed in the IPF because they didn't pay their fees for their knee wraps. So again, this was pretty much the only alternative I have. I do have lots of Inzer wraps, and I've tried Titan wraps in the past, but they aren't I guess to my satisfaction to some degree. So I'm really a supporter of thick knee wraps, and I believe the company in the past that actually did it very well was APT, but APT did not continue to pay the fees a few years ago, so I had to find other alternatives. So I believe this really is an ideal alternative to the APT style of wrap. So I actually had a test run of these wraps. So this is the pair I used, and SPD has varying degrees of how much rubber they use in the wraps. So as the head of SPD mentioned, Benjamin Banks, he mentioned that the knee wrap material is not the same as the wrist wrap material. So the wrist wraps I currently use, they're all red, so they're the stiff wraps, and I believe they have a 56% rubber content. However, these have a 52% rubber content, and the lighter wrist wraps, I see they have a 30% rubber content. So the varying degrees of rubber content, it'll determine how stiff the knee wrap is, how stiff the wrap is. So obviously these are not as stiff as the stiff wrist wrap material, but again, it's for a different purpose. The purpose of the wrist wrap is to immobilize the wrap, but here, because the knee wrap has to have some rebound, that's why there's less rubber in this material. So let me pull it really quickly. Again, this is the stiff wrap, so I have to kind of use some effort to pull it, and then if I put more effort, it stretches. Okay? And I want to say a good comparison for this wrap is it's very similar to the APT strangulator wrap, but I believe it has more rebound. So this wrap has a perfect blend of both stopping power and also rebound. So naturally, the first time I used it yesterday, I actually hit really good numbers, because usually I don't use my straps up for weights. I don't use my straps up for lower weights, but I do tend to put the straps up for the higher weights. So when I reach the 430 or around 195 kilo to plus, I usually have the straps up, but I wanted to test the capability of the wraps. So I actually did not use any straps up for these sets, and I posted earlier on YouTube. So there were sets with 428 pounds, 450 pounds, 470 pounds, and I've never done 470 pounds without the straps up. But with these wraps, maybe in combination with my new stance and also the suit bottoms, I was able to work up to 470 for 4. So the entire training session was 420 for 5, which I don't believe I've done even with my straps up. And then 450 for 5, again, that's also an iffy number with my straps up, and 470 for 4 was a massive PR, massive personal best with straps down. So I'm really glad that SPD produced this product because, again, it's something that IPF lifters were sorely missing in a knee wrap. Ever since APT left the scene, I believe this really fills the void. And I'm not a fan of the thinner wraps like the Inzer Z wraps or the gripper wraps. Number one, they're much harder to wrap, so it takes more revolutions, and you have to do them more tightly, and you have to be very careful when you're wrapping them. So ideally, you want to have another person wrapping you. But again, because I wrap primarily myself during training, actually, I'm the only person that wraps myself, obviously. During training, because I don't have people to wrap me, so it just adds stress when I'm using a thinner wrap like that. Not to say they're not good when you have when you go to competition, you have someone wrapping as tightly as possible, but in terms of wrapping by myself, I think the thicker wraps are more ideal to my situation. So here, the SPD wraps, I actually got 7 full revolutions with the tie off. So it's 4 spiral up, 3 spiral down, and then I was able to tie off. So it's technically 8 revolutions, but it's technically 7 full revolutions. And for these, I highly recommend that you use a wrap roller to pre-wrap the roll, because it'll be very difficult for you to wrap the maximum number of revolutions without it. And I've been told that at least on 2 separate occasions that I would need another a person wrapping me. But again, what I did for myself, 7 full revolutions with the tie off, I thought it was perfectly adequate. But maybe if I get help at a competition, that I may have someone else wrap me, and in order to get the full revolution, because Ben Banks was telling me that he's been getting reports that people get 10 full revolutions out of these, or 10 plus revolutions. So again, 7 may not be maximizing the wrap completely, but again, you have to put these in the wrap roller in order to maximize the number of revolutions you want. And if you do, I think you'll be really pleased with these, because again, it is a good blend of both the stopping power and rebound. So the amount of rebound I felt out of the hole was incredible. And I also did feel that my knee was casted and it was very secure. So again, I'm very happy for these wraps, and again, I paid for all these wraps. I work with someone named Mario, and he's actually a distributor for, I believe, Austria or Germany, or one of those countries, and he was able to give me a discount, because again, I was ordering so much. But again, I did pay for all these, so this is an objective review of these wraps. So again, if you are a serious equipped powerlifter in the IPF and you're looking for a wrap that from a company that will reliably pay their fees and give you excellent performance in terms of stopping power and rebound, I highly recommend these wraps. So again, thanks guys for watching. Give these wraps a try, and stay tuned for the next review.